Are we
Hello.
starting? Okay.
Matt, I swear to God, I now realize how annoying you are in the hosting role. I'm ready to fly to LA as soon as I get a vaccine, and I'm gonna rip your beard off, mate. Because
bro, I can't wait. Yeah,
Wow,
you fly here. You're gonna get the hands. I've been watching a ton of UFC, bro. I'll get you one of those guillotines I've been seeing people do. Yeah, you're done.
yeah, okay. You couldn't
Very
reach
nice.
my neck on a step
Or-
ladder, mate.
How many subscribers would the channel need for us to rent a UFC ring and have me and Josh go 5 rounds?
I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that to you. I think,
250k, 250,000 subs.
I mean, at that point, we're just becoming clout YouTube vloggers that are like arranging boxing matches to arrange our drama and stuff.
Hey, they have private jets. It doesn't look that bad.
True, it doesn't look that bad.
It doesn't look
Welcome,
that bad.
anyway. Welcome, Matt, and shut up to Plat Chat episode 80. We are really racking up the episodes. I didn't realize we've been doing it for this long, but we now have as many episodes as Matt has had years on Earth. It's crazy how far we've got.
That's true. Yeah, I'm trying to set the record for the oldest person alive. No, it's crazy. I mean, if you remember the start of Plat Chat, you know, it was like that silver graphic. I think Chelsea made it because we were just like, oh yeah, we're gonna start a podcast. Probably won't go anywhere, but can you just make us a logo?
Yeah.
Then we kept doing it. We brought Kurt on. We still haven't paid Kurt, but we brought him on. And then Kurt's laughing.
We put him in exposure.
Keeping it real gets too real. We've housed Kurt for a bit though. It may not be the best situations, but he's been living.
Yeah. He lives in the little cupboard underneath the stairs there, underneath Bren, who shouts all the time while he streams.
But no, it's crazy how this podcast kind of taken on a life of its own. It's we did it live for like, I don't know, 2 weeks before COVID happened, but you know,
I mean, hopefully we'll be trending back towards that as well. If you're looking forward to that kind of stuff, towards the end of the season, we might actually be able to do these in person.
How the fuck are we gonna do that? You're in Texas and we're in LA.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'll make you walk, mate. I'll make you walk out here.
Make me walk.
First thing to note, because Jonathan just cracked it open immediately, is that we got sent some of these Washington Justice beers, and I don't know whether
this is water. I'm drinking sparkling water.
Oh, you conned me. You absolutely conned me. I thought you were drinking the Justice beers.
I have my Justice beer in the fridge. I just got it, so I opened up. What does it taste like?
It's like, so first of all, we haven't been paid to promote this product, but we have been sent them for free, so we got to disclose that. But the Washington Justice beers, in my opinion, I am actually a fan of quite light lagers, and this one has a bit more flavor to it than some other, like, you know how, I don't know whether you agree with this, Matt, because you are an American, but Americans love to drink, like, essentially flavorless lagers. Like, they have no flavor to them at all. Either that or they drink incredibly hoppy IPAs.
Right, because the goal here is to not drink, like, beer that tastes good. It's to just drink as many beers as you can.
Yeah,
it's like
that's called
it's just water with some alcohol in it.
That's a problem.
But no, I mean,
Drink
it's good. I'm excited to try it.
It's actually really good. I've been enjoying it.
What flavors in there capture the justice? Like what flavors in the beer represent the team?
The fruitiness of Decay getting signed at the last minute. Yeah, just like a fruity little loophole I can taste there. Let me test some more.
Yeah.
Tasting notes.
Ooh, I think I'm getting a little bit of a Rookie of the Year. I think I'm getting a little bit of a Rookie of the Year in there as well.
Okay.
It's a team preview in a can. This is unbelievable.
Yeah. The thing is, though, once you get to the end of the sip, there's like this weird, like, backline flavor, you know, like right in the back of your throat.
Oh, come on. I mean,
this weird backline flavor. I'm trying. I'm stretching it so thin. It's just a nice beer, mate.
I didn't think we would miss Bren this much. I mean, you were terrible at this.
What do you
I'm only
think?
disappointed. They only sent us like beer worth for a day. I'm like, come on, you're gonna send me beer? Like, give me a 24 pack. You know, don't give me like 6.
They gave you 6 beers, and you thought that was only enough for a day.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have a fun night. I down those, okay?
Quarantine has been hard on you.
You already said it as well. You already said it. You know, the beer brands in America, they're okay. You know, the lagers, they're okay. But there's no like exquisite beer. So given the opportunity to drink this one, the Washington Justice beer on the regular, I would pay money for this. I would pay money so I could drink Washington Justice beer all the time instead of all the silly other brands. I'm not gonna name the brands because that'd be poorly mannered.
Yeah, by the way,
just saying, like,
if you're a company that wants to
probably,
sponsor us, go for it.
Yeah, like I would buy a beer fridge just so I could have Washington Justice beers in my house, okay? Because I don't want to drink the other brands if I'm gonna drink Washington Justice beer.
After this, Johnny's gonna go to different bars around LA, be like, "Excuse me, do you have the Washington Justice beer?" They're gonna be like, "What?"
What do you? I thought it was quite interesting that an Overwatch League team was even doing this. To be honest,
yeah,
when they
cool.
sent us some,
it's awesome.
I know that the outside perspective of Overwatch was like, oh, it's a kids game, it's a cartoon game. But I do think that generally speaking, Overwatch League teams have been extremely family friendly with like the way that they've marketed themselves, generally speaking. And this, I mean, nothing says not family friendly like an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah. I really hope that they use an
singular beer.
Start making their own whiskey or something because they need it. Jesus Christ.
What would be some other weird team kind of things that like you would like to see?
Shoes? Give me Overwatch League shoes. Please. I've been asking for years.
I mean, the Shotgun team shoes, you saw that? They got like
Fusion had them, actually. Fusion had them season 1.
Fusion had them?
Yeah. That was cool.
Maybe like a Dallas Fuel type of like barbecue rub for like, you know, burgers and stuff. Yeah, like a really hot fuel.
What's a barbecue rug?
You kind of, a rub, not a rug.
Oh, a rug.
You can't barbecue a rug. I mean,
I swear, Josh just hears the wrong thing on purpose sometimes.
No. I swear I thought you said barbecue rug, and I thought it was like a rug that went underneath the barbecue that was supposed to...
that would still be kind of cool too, but I'm pretty sure you could just use any rug for that. I'm not exactly sure you need a specific rug that goes underneath the barbecue.
That's very true. All right, so from a product that we got for free to a product that we're actually being paid to promote here, just shilling out all in the first 10 minutes or whatever. We've got the reason that Bren isn't on the podcast. I know that he tweeted about some stuff and, made his explanations. He's actually making ridiculous business deals upstairs right now. And he's been talking all day to the CEO of Manscaped. And he had to bargain with them, but they've allowed us one more chance, one more test to see if we can promote their products adequately. And this time they sent over a fancy graphic as well. Kurt, have you got... Look at that.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Whoa, look at the bush go away.
It's so effective. So good.
Yeah, I mean, do you have foliage? If you have foliage and you want to get rid of it, then my God, use code Plat Chat on manscaped.com for 20% off because apparently the stuff that I've been sent, spring break is right around the corner. I don't know what spring break even is, Matt. I don't know what it is.
I've been inside for a year. I have no idea whether we're in spring or winter at this point.
You're also 80 years old. The last time you were on spring break, it must have been a different age. Like the ice age.
Oh, yeah. I brought my Polaroid camera to that. Yeah, I got some Polaroids.
Yeah, it says here as well, Jonathan, that Manscaped is here to ensure that the party in your pants never stops. Do you frequently have pants parties?
God, what a loaded question that is. Jesus Christ. I expected a softball. I'm going to need some more of this Washington Justice beer. Well, anyway.
Regardless of what he does. Yeah, I mean, there it is.
Get the ball deodorant. That's good too.
I will say, that's been on Jonathan's desk since the last time we did a Manscaped promotion. So I can only assume that he's been using it on a religious basis whenever he plays WoW or something.
Of course. Those 48-hour days playing WoW. Sometimes you just need some anti-chafing ball deodorant.
Yeah, they say that Jonathan has the best smelling balls in Los Angeles. You can smell them coming a mile off.
Save 20% off. Yeah,
it says gentle on skin. So if you're worried, it says gentle on skin. It's a good product. Okay.
if you're worried about your skin, trust me, it's gentle.
No, but like I would have questions if I was a viewer and I'm like, am I going to buy Manscaped? I'd have questions, and one would be, is it gentle on the skin? It is gentle on the skin. Manscaped is gentle on the skin. So there you go.
And we have a 20%
code
off.
Plat Chat.
We have a 20% off discount code as well. There it is, flashing at the top of your screen. Catch it for a moment there. Grab it in your hands. It's code Plat Chat at manscaped.com. Where's the razor as well that we had previously? The Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the Essential Lawnmower 3.0. It's waterproof and apparently with a cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations. Now let me tell you, I've got one of these babies, and they say here it's the best trimmer on the market for those of you in need of chest or ball shave. Now, I've got to be honest, I have chest I have a chest and I have balls, but I mean, there's no hair here. There's no.
You have not shaven it.
I haven't shaven my
chest. You don't have any hair.
No, nothing grows here. Nothing ever grows here. Look at that. See, that's why. What? This is why we need Bren and other people to promote this product, because I am a hairless freak.
How am I, with a chest full of hair, going to promote a shaving product?
You need to shave it.
Because then you would shave it. Like next week, you can come on and you shave it. Or you shave, the Washington Justice logo or the Overwatch League logo into your chest or something. Do you remember that time when we were at the Blizzard Arena and someone had shaved the Dallas Fuel logo into their belly hair? That was wild.
That's what you should do for when we do power rankings. You should shave the logo of the team you want to put at number 1 into your chest.
Look, I'll talk to Bren. He'll negotiate some deals. I'm just saying, this space is for rent, Manscaped. So, if it gets to that point, there's a price. I'm just saying, there's a price, and we can talk it through. Let me know.
They said, do yourself a favor. Always use the right tools for the job, which, you don't want to be using the same shaver that you use on your face, on your balls, and then using it the other way around as well. That's just gross. Stop doing that. If you're at home and you do that, stop doing it and take a look at Manscaped. And go use code Plat Chat. Jonathan's laughing because it's bringing up memories of when he used to do that before he got Manscaped products.
I had a very bad joke.
Johnny's like, I haven't even thought about that. Years.
So anyway, get 20% off and free shipping with code Plat Chat at Manscaped. That's it. Manscaped.com. Boom. Move on. Let's get going. What's the next thing? I don't know how much I had to talk about that, so I just kept talking.
What kind of host are you? Brent would always have these really nice segues, and
it's his first time.
And Brent always knew where we were going in the show, and you can't even tell us.
Here, I'll give you a
this
tip.
is the same shit you used to say to Brent too.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
I'm not taking anything he's saying seriously.
I used to give Brent tons of credit.
All right, I heard that there was an experimental card tournament coming up. We've been talking about it for weeks. I also heard
coming up. It was the other day. It was the other day. We've already seen it.
I meant it's already gone.
Coming up.
It's already gone. Mate, I've had too many of these Justice beers already. Yeah, and Boston and Chengdu won their respective. Well, I mean, it wasn't the full Chengdu team, right? I think it had like a couple of players different. But yeah, they won their respective regions.
Boston was the full team, and they were all playing on their actual roles. Pretty sick. There were 290 teams plus in this event for NA.
Wait, was it the full team? They were missing a couple, weren't they?
Okay, so yes, because there's only 6 players on an Overwatch team at a time. They were missing 3, but like it was everybody on their team. Yes, okay, I mean, it wasn't like...
God, can you imagine if you were allowed to do that? You're just not allowed to field as many players as you had access to.
I mean... No, I couldn't. I couldn't imagine that. Sorry. But Boston looked really good. We saw I'm 37, Valentine. Valentine looked really strong. Stan won in Punk, and then Myungbong and Faith. So that was the lineup they ran with. They played against Atlanta in the final, who Atlanta was off-rolling. Gator was playing a lot of DPS. He was playing McCree. And then they had Edison on the main tank. Edison and Kai were the main tank off tank combination.
That's
they
fantastic.
Take him out by using the Pelican Bastion with Gator's Symmetra. But
this was so enjoyable.
Yeah, eventually really they adjusted. It was actually a really fun tournament.
Yeah.
The changes were wild.
What was the most ridiculous change? Like when you were watching, some of the changes were really like they were the kind of thing that was broken enough to not get in the game for real, but not broken enough to be able to make a massive impact in every game. But some of them must have been like utterly broken. What was the most broken thing?
I mean, I think the Torbjorn change was like the biggest one, where you get 2 turrets, even though the health and the damage is reduced by 40%. Yeah. But we didn't see like too much Torbjorn. Like we saw some of it, especially on like Saturday, but Sunday we didn't see a ton. I would actually say that the Genji change, that the blade extends when you get a kill, was like the biggest one. It was really fun to watch as well, because you'd be so intrigued to see if they could get the finishing blows and like extend the duration. And it was actually quite an enjoyable upgrade. Now, it doesn't help Genji as a hero in terms of like, he's still very ult-reliant, right? But it didn't help his weaknesses. But it was very fun to watch Genji players just go ham and try to build up that duration and like add 5 seconds to their ultimate.
Yeah, that sounds
The
incredibly
the
fun.
Reaper one was quite strong when we saw Reaper as well.
Oh, he could fly, right?
No, he cannot fly. His Johnny almost just spit his food out. His voice line went away with teleport.
Yeah.
So he's able to just move around the map. Tracer seemed a bit stronger. I thought there was going to be more 76 play with the double helix rocket, but
Yeah.
I think just Tac Visor as an ultimate just doesn't kind of push him over the top in terms of anything. So it was interesting. We saw a lot of comps that you would actually see on live.
This shit, man.
I mean, yeah, this is kind of just
This is what
madness.
Atlanta did on the auto. They just like stood on in these like narrow choke points and just contested the card.
You know this is going to be happening in the season as well.
I'd love to know if it happened at any other time, but I believe during one of the games we casted, there were 12 different heroes being played.
Really? That's
like
so unusual.
There was, yeah, and I was like, when was the last time we saw that? You had both teams. I mean, even if you look at this, right? I mean, really, the only constant was I mean, right here. Look, I mean, there's.
Oh yeah, this is literally it right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's the zero of the same heroes on both teams across the board. They did have a Lucio both teams for a little bit, but I found this quite interesting. I was like, I don't remember the last time I saw Overwatch played like this.
Yeah.
But I would actually like to see this type of stuff. Like, I think this is what makes Overwatch cool, right?
Yeah, this is the healthiest system for the game, is when you can run like two completely different comps. I'm sure it's happened before and we just haven't paid attention to it, like when Rush and Poke were both being played at the same time or something weird like that. But yeah, that is really cool. I want you both to tell me a change that from this tournament that you would actually want in the game. What was the change you want in the game, like permanent?
I actually, this is going to sound wild, and I'm 37 mentioned it when we did the post game interview. He actually liked the Torbjorn 2 turrets, and I kind of understand that from the sense that like now you don't have to set up a crossfire between Torb's turret and like the rest of your team. You can set it up between two turrets, and you can kind of play around that. My fear is that if that was all the time, Torbjorn would eventually hit a point where they would have to maybe buff him off of that, and he would just become unstoppable with two turrets. But
wait, what do you mean they have to buff him? Why would they have to?
Let's say he wasn't getting any play with that, right? Where do you go in terms of like his direction at that point? Like, because I feel like if you buffed him even slightly, I think the one that makes the most sense is probably Echo coming out of duplicate without full HP, having some kind of reduced HP coming out of duplicate, because it is pretty strong when she comes out of duplicate right now and she has full HP. So I think actually that's a pretty good change.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. We haven't mentioned the wrecking ball change, but like I don't know if you saw this, Josh, but like the wrecking ball was like so 15%
smaller.
It was ridiculous. It was like a small golf ball just like flying around the court and everything. It was super enjoyable. It was really cool. We didn't see a ton of play, but like when we did, it was actually so funny to watch because it's just this small ball. Not sustainable though. I wouldn't like to see that in the game.
But it was funny.
Yeah, I agree with Matt. The echo change I think was pretty reasonable. I really enjoyed watching the Genji change, but I don't know if that's sustainable either. Because it's like one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I know it's a bit ridiculous, but it made it fun. You can't argue with fun because it's a video game. So I hope they find some kind of way to like gamify the Dragon Blade Ultimate to like make it where like you're rewarded if you get more kills or something like that. So
I think some of the concepts that they took in terms of like the panel, like with what they wanted to do, was interesting. It's stuff that we haven't really seen in Overwatch in the past, like what Mercy got the reset on Guardian Angel with eliminations or final blows. I forget which one. You had the extending of the Dragon Blade. It's different types of like just to add a little bit more depth to some of the heroes in terms of like if you're able to do some of these abilities or like get some of these combos or whatnot, like you get some type of added benefit for it. Which I thought that was pretty cool. I'd like to see, mean, if they do this again, like some type of going down that path. I think I saw somebody on whether it was Twitter or like the chat, they were like, oh yeah, if McCree hits like 3 headshots in a row or something like that, he should get like an auto reload or something. I was like, that's madness. I was like, you just have I mean, McCree would just chunking people down, but I think there were a bunch of cool changes. I think the Batiste change to the immortality when you actually saw it in practice, it made Batiste so much weaker that like immortality is probably the most annoying part of his kit for like just the general player base, but also it's like the thing that keeps him from not being played at all. Like
Right.
when you came out of immortality, I believe what Johnny, you got down to 1 HP.
Yeah.
So you were just basically dead right after.
I mean, I'm on board for that change, like permanently. I think here though, we did actually still see a lot of Batiste, but the thing was, I think with the experimental card changes, you're in this kind of like limbo, like this meta limbo where people just play stuff for fun or to try stuff out. So it's not like an actual representation of what the meta will be with these changes in place. So it could just be the case that Batiste would be awful if the immortality field put you down to 1 HP. But we still saw him played a little bit in the tourney.
Sure. Are you telling me then that this wasn't representative, that Boston is not going to win the Overwatch League?
Well,
it's kind of funny.
Went out to like round 32 or something. So,
well, we asked I'm 37 like how things were going after, and he was actually pretty honest. He was like, "Yeah, I think we'll be like right now. I kind of think we're like middle of the pack, like to upper middle of the pack. Like we win a bit more than we lose." But he also kind of mentioned that he thinks they have an opportunity to really kind of grow and get better. That their biggest issue right now is just the language barrier between a lot of the players and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it was actually rare that you actually get like a real answer from somebody, because usually it's always like, oh, we're going to be the best. Like where he was just kind of like, well, this is where we're at now, and this is where we think we can get to, which I appreciated.
I knew it was a meme tourney, but that like Boston looked actually quite good.
Valentine was
like
sick.
Valentine was sick, but what I said on the broadcast as well was like they had the compositions down and the general teamwork, combining ultimates and all of that good stuff. But it was the small things like diving at the same time or capitalizing on an Ashe explosive damage with a tracer. Those kind of small things that generally take some time to figure out. That was actually working quite well for Boston Uprising. And I know it wasn't the best competition. I know Atlanta Reign were off-rolling. But it was just nice to see that from Boston Uprising. And hopefully if they can build on that and improve even further, this is actually a team with some potential in it. So
yeah, it was fun to see a lot of like the new players play as well. I mean, I came away extremely impressed with Pelican and Valentine. And then just Boston as a whole, like Johnny mentioned. I mean, we talked about it a little bit on the broadcast as you see the blade extension here. So he goes right back up.
That's so fun.
When you looked at Boston, like, now that you've added Faith, who's a pretty good main support, you have some more firepower in terms of DPS. You have another main tank who can kind of like spell in and out with fusions. Like, the DPS gets better. I mean, we were joking on the broadcast. Like, if they would have kept Myungbong alive for more than 18 minutes total last year, he would have been like, I really believe like his numbers would have been sick. Like one of the better flex supports in the league. I was like, now that I think, if they have a team that they can put around him that keeps him alive, and players that can enable to make some more offensive plays, so they're not playing off the back foot every single time, I think you could see a pretty good Boston this year.
Yeah.
And even though Atlanta was off rolling, with seeing how Pelican played, like my lord, when you're going to have Pelican and Edison as the DPS duo, I mean, it's just going to be lights out for some teams.
I mean, you didn't even see Kai play again here, right? Like on his hits.
He played off. Yeah, he played off tank. Yeah, I mean,
So that guy's a nutcase too. So
yeah, and as long as the tanks and the sports don't lose some games, which I don't think they will, like they'll be league average, I think they have like a puncher's chance in any type of game because of how good their DPS can be.
Well, I'm glad you brought that comment up as well, because I believe that was a comment said during the broadcast by famed Overwatch League analyst Custer on the desk, right? And you just stole the point from him.
When did he say that?
Did he not? I thought that's what you were saying earlier on today. That's what Custer said, and you agreed with him.
Oh, when we were talking about it. Yeah. Well, Scott thinks Pelican will be the rookie of the year.
Right. But I wanted to
think
bring
it's
this up because
possible.
this is just a classic Matt Morello thing. He waits to see who's on the desk
What?
and then he just yoinks all of their points. And the desk
Oh,
just
yeah,
got announced today. So, not today.
I mean,
the
look.
desk got announced this week. So
Wow,
they,
is this
they
an
can all expect to
intervention?
get robbed.
I mean,
Because
look,
we
this
can
is
make it an intervention if you want to.
no. I mean, this is what Josh does on the Valorant show as well. He just listens to Valoranting, the real #1 podcast. And he just takes what Mitch and Mitch, Villy, and Van Silly say, and he just repeats it. And his just drone of cronies in the chat who just spam Mr. Egg. They believe it. They don't even
Mr.
realize that this
Egg.
other stuff exists. Yeah.
That's like if me and you had a child, Matt. He'd be called Mr. Egg. Sounds very similar.
Mr. Egg. It'd be terrible.
I want
Me and you
to
and
talk about the
parents
Overwatch
would be
League
terrible.
2021 desk, though, Matt, because it got announced.
Before we get to that,
Oh, yeah.
Josh, I wanted to
Whoa.
note something.
Oh,
The stream quality is unbelievable.
oh,
Like super
Yeah.
high quality.
Oh, for the broadcast, the 4K.
Yeah, like look at this. It's gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is this
It's
actually
so
are
much better.
You, are you watching it in 4K right now?
No,
Matt, Kurt.
no, I'm not. It's just that much better. I think it's visibly.
Yeah, a lot of the comments were just that it was noticeably better. Like because you have the 4K option as well, but then there's another option I think in between 1080 and 4K. Yeah, 1440p.
Oh, my
And then
lord.
there's then there's actual 4K.
Brent's speedrun's gonna crash in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But you can just see like just the colors, the smoothness of it. Like the broadcast
Yeah.
looks really, really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was something that people were kind of missing from last year. It seemed like there was growing pains with moving to YouTube, but I like that the league has been very proactive with working with them for this year to try and get a bunch of the solutions fixed, of which one of them we're going to get onto later on in terms of being the drops and stuff as well. But I do want to give the little shout out to the desk announcement as well before we get back to that topic.
Well,
because-
thank you, Kurt, for pointing that out. Bringing an original comment onto Plat Chat. You have more than Matt, so good job. Matt. Appreciate that.
Hey, look! If we could have convinced you to take a break, Johnny, and kept Bren, we would have had. Josh Ray has a tweet longer written up for you. Yeah, he's already got the. Yeah, hey, Kurt, come sit down. Pull up a chair, Kurt. You're in.
Uncle Matt's gonna pat you on the back. Don't worry.
The desk.
So talk about
Yes,
the desk, John. You're a part of it.
It fit. What do you mean? I'm not a part of it. You little shit.
I said Johnny. Johnny's
Jonathan's
a
a part of it, right? Yeah. But also a new face as well, because I think the old band returns. That's really cool. But also a new face emerges, or not a new face. I guess it is a return as well. Not
returning
an original,
face.
can we? But it is a face that a lot of people have been, I think, like missing on the broadcast too. In Danny Lim, in like a kind of. I don't know whether Reinforce or Custer have been learning Korean, but I would hazard a guess that it's not at the same level as Danny's.
Yeah. No. I don't know much Korean.
Can you give us your best?
안녕하세요.
Oh.
There you go, mates. There you go.
No, I appreciate that.
Do you remember when Danny told Bren to say that? What was the line that he said to Bumper in Korean? He was like, I'm a bad caster or something like that. And Bren spent the entire like 2 hours memorizing this phrase, which he thought he was going to ask Bumper this in-depth question, but he was really just making fun of himself.
Yeah, that was elite. So many moments like that got lost in time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether it like exists anymore, but that clip was fantastic. He just got duped by the production into talking shit about himself. In Korean.
I think it's great to have
I'm
Danny back.
stoked. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's going to make the desk so much fun because Danny adds something that me and Costa doesn't have, which is a sense of humor and actually some kind of expertise when it comes to something out of game. I think it's going to be really good to have Danny on. I think it's going to bring a pretty unique desk chemistry that we haven't really seen in the past, in the earlier seasons. And I think it's going to be a new experiment. So I'm excited to work with Danny. Looking forward to how it turns out. Obviously, you guys know this as well. Like when you work with new people on a constant basis like that, you need to figure out like where people fit in and like how you work together and like figure that stuff out. So I'm excited to work with Danny and figure out what we're going to do this season to make it the best desk possible.
I think Danny brings a lot in the sense that like he has just great relationships with a lot of like the Korean players in the league.
Oh, yeah.
and he has so much insight into like what goes on with these teams that like we just don't have, right? That like I think a lot of times it's hard for us to figure out. I mean, what's going on with any of the teams in the league, but Danny kind of has that like insider friend like knowledge, which I think that'll be really interesting to bring to the desk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool. I am assuming that they haven't announced more details about like the logistics of how the broadcast works and what the desk is doing and stuff like that yet, right?
No.
Okay, cool. Won't dig any deeper into it then.
I will be there. Whatever happens, I will be there. It's announced.
Jonathan will be there.
There we go.
And so will Matt as well, because he got dragged along by Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch just announced it, which also I kind of found out was like, well, like I'm full time, so obviously I am going to cast. I mean, it would just be kind of weird if I didn't. But yeah, I'll be there.
It's kind of funny that not even the league wants to give Matt an announcement. They're like trying to keep it on the down low that he's back.
Well, I don't need an announcement. I mean, Johnny, Josh, you saw Johnny begging for a Reddit thread yesterday during the broadcast. I mean, there was no Jonathan reinforced appreciation thread. He was like, "Come on, guys, start a Reddit thread." Like, who cares? Like, come on, let's keep going.
I mean, it worked. He controls the populace like a little puppet master now. He's got him in the palm of his hand. But you think it's a coincidence that we're drinking Justice beers right now with Reinforce on the podcast? It's all subliminal messaging. It's all subliminal. We're getting into your head, and then eventually, when Jonathan says, I don't know, whatever nefarious acts he has up his sleeve, you'll all just go along with it.
I'll just say this, Matt. I'll remember how you treat me.
Okay. I mean, remember when you got dropped and I brought you a salad? I was so nice. That happened, right?
It did happen.
Johnny was like, yeah, Johnny was so
sad.
Johnny was so sad. You know what I did? I went to go get Johnny his favorite salad. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I'm a good friend.
That really nice.
And that's what and the YouTube comments, they see through this charade that you got going on here, Johnny. They know.
What is your favorite
went
salad?
to a sushi bar.
Well, we were in Denver.
So this was in Denver. They had this lit salad place. Oh my god, it was so nuts. It was incredible.
Next to ZP's sushi boat.
I say this. I say this. There was like a salad bar, like a salad restaurant. They specialized in salads, like bulky fucking salads. And when I say that, most people who listen, they're like, oh, you know, some spinach or like, you know, romaine with some cucumber or like tomatoes. Like, how good can it be? But like, I swear, this place is like they had salads on steroids, and like you can double up on the protein and just like a bulky fucking salad. Like I felt like a bodybuilder and healthy at the same time. It was crazy how good this salad place was. I need to find the name. If this was a chain, I need to go back. It was incredible.
Okay.
I had never stepped in this salad place when we were in Denver because me, Josh, and Brent we lived at Old Chicago's Pizza, where so I had to navigate wherever we were in Denver to find this place, and then I walked and got Johnny a salad.
Yeah, there's a place in Texas that I just drove past today that does 3,000 calorie salads, and at that point.
What's the point?
Why are you even bothering calling it a salad?
Yeah, just go catch a cow and come back inside. I mean, what the hell's the point of a salad at that point? I mean,
go catch a cow. Is that what you think people in Texas do?
Did we stay in Lakewood?
Sorry.
No, mate. We
just
didn't,
during the broadcast yesterday, when there was a McCree that went to Deadeye, and he died basically instantly, and I had said, oh, he didn't even get a chance to get his hay thing out.
Oh, I love that.
His hay thing? You mean the tumbleweed?
He said hay out. It was a Brennism by Matt. He couldn't even get his hay out. I love it.
Wow. All right. Well, that's becoming
I mean, look, I grew up, Kurt, you grew up where? You grew up in New York somewhere, Kurt. We didn't see this shit in New York, bro. There's no tumbleweeds in Long Island. We barely have grass.
But Matt, I didn't grow up with fucking tumbleweeds. I'm from a coal mining village in the northeast of England. We didn't have tumbleweeds. People tumbled down mining shafts. But I'm still aware of what they are.
But it's not really that important, though. I mean, you're never going to run into a tumbleweed and be like, oh, whoa, hey, look at that.
Couldn't get the hay out.
They actually, tumbleweeds cause devastation across the United States, actually, because they tangle into each other and they cause massive amounts of problems. And they propagate themselves as they fly across the United States. They're an
I've never
invasive
seen any of
species
this
as
shit
well.
flying around.
They're not native to the US.
Maybe it's because I lived in LA and New York my whole life. I haven't been exposed to this type of stuff. But
Man,
yeah,
there's
no,
fucking tumbleweeds in LA.
I
just
haven't
blind.
seen any.
You're just blind. All right, moving on.
Or I
Anyway.
just don't go out.
Yeah, I think that's that is the crux of the issue with everything that happens with you, Matt. You just need to go outside and sniff some grass particles, I think. All right.
Grass particles, is that a thing?
Yes,
It's like
it's called pollen.
It's like the grass with CG outside.
Fucking hell. The drops have been not just announced because we already knew that there was drops in the Overwatch League 2021, but they've kind of fleshed out more of the system of how it works, how to get it hooked up, like what you'll get rewarded for, what you won't. And yeah, they had this cool article where half of the text wasn't properly formatted on my phone, so I couldn't read it properly. But thankfully, we had a PSA by none other than Matt Morello from the 80s. So that was, I mean, yeah, Kurt, if you can pull that up. Matt must have done this. I don't know what kind of prescient time machine you've been using. But
well, I got that time machine from Watchpoint in the first season.
Right.
I've held on to it.
Predicted the future, understood exactly how the drop system was going to work, and then went back in time, back to 70s, 80s to record this advert.
Yeah. No, this ad was so much fun to record. Fish came up with just the whole concept of it.
Sorry,
he's so funny.
You have to be more specific than that, because when you say Fish came up with it, that makes you sound like Jaws staring into an aquarium, just hoping the meaning of life is going to pass through.
One of our producers on the show, Eric Fishman, but we all call him Fish. Yeah,
there we go.
He came up with the idea, the whole concept of it, and it was so funny. It's like a takeoff of like this Michael Jordan PSA,
right?
Like with like McDonald's. And just the end where you just say "Stop it, get some help" in such a monotone voice. You know, when I kind of started, I never thought my just boring cadence sometimes would really kind of bring pieces to life. But my boring nature here just really just shown out as it was so funny to record. It was really funny.
All right. Have you got the clip?
Everything you wanted to talk about on Saturday. Like when they showed this clip on the Overwatch League channel, like Matt started talking to the YouTube chat. That's how addicted he was to the fame he got from this one. He loved it.
I mean,
tuning into the Overwatch League and are a fun way to earn awards while watching your favorite.
I just love how it's like one of those like creepy like high school photo style backgrounds where you go to take your picture, you know, you sit down, take your picture, ends up in the yearbook.
What is that red background?
Oh, I don't know. So this actually kind of this made people spam drops, as you can imagine.
You don't say. You don't say.
Yeah.
Telling them not to spam the drops made them spam the drops more. Insane.
Yeah, I was surprised about that, to be honest. I thought they would stop. I thought they would see this and be like, "Hey, you know what? I have to change my way."
There is the famous Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was spamming drops all day. There you go. You do that. You hit that. You hit that. Boom.
I gotta
Rewards.
say, that is extremely simple. Like that is a very simple system. Like that's even more simple than it is on Twitch, where you have to link your account and other shit. Like that's just really simple.
Yeah, you hit those two buttons, and then it's done.
Yeah,
and then you start earning.
And it's not just like random tokens and stuff, right? There's more specific things. There's like a gray Overwatch skin or something.
Yeah, they put out another article. I'm seeing if I can find it, but they put out one. Oh yeah, which like so this kind of goes into like obviously you can get the rewards. 4K clips are back. Something they mentioned here, actually in the other one, is the opening weekend spray that you can earn has been drawn and designed by Zoe.
Oh.
So that'll be super sick when that gets
is that
released.
This skin?
But no,
it's a different one, right?
It's a spray.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean skin. I meant this spray, because I assume that Tracer Overwatch League logo is a spray, or are they just using a placeholder graphic?
We've used that for like ages.
Yeah, I know.
That may actually already be in the game.
Is it in the game already?
It might. I don't know.
I don't
Or it
know.
could be a placeholder.
I don't really use. I don't use sprays, so I haven't cycled through them all.
You
but-
mean you don't use sprays?
I don't have a button bound to do sprays or emotes. I've never had a button bound. I don't understand. I don't know what the button is.
Do you
all your
not
buttons are
understand
just
the concept of
marked a W.
sprays?
I understand the concept of sprays. You look at a wall, you press the button, it sprays something on the wall. But I don't ever use them, so I never bound a button to it, and I don't know what the button is. I don't know what the button even is by default.
But yeah, this just kind of goes into more of like the broadcast improvements that have gone into this year, right?
It's so nice. We had clips during the tournament.
Clips, yeah.
It's so nice. I've missed clips so much. It just helps like highlight the great moments.
And I don't know if it was on that page, but something else that they showed, which I believe didn't make it into last week's episode because I think it was in the broadcast improvements, was that the encore matches for NA teams playing in Asia. So before the broadcast, before the NA broadcast, you would have a rebroadcast of like an NYXL game that happened overnight.
That's
so
cool.
in theory, like you wouldn't have to. You just get up earlier and watch. And there's drops for that too.
That's cool.
So you don't have to like stay up all night and like watch those games if you're a New York fan or a Philly fan or a Valiant one. You can just tune into those encores in the morning and
said
watch.
You said that incorrectly, Matt. You said a Valiant one. You meant the one Valiant fan out there, right?
I mean, come on. There's probably more than one. There's a bunch. Yeah.
I mean, there's 6 people on the team, so it would be weird if there weren't 6 fans.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 mothers.
Oh, come on.
Move on.
I love putting Matt in these positions. It's so good.
The Valiant, they're gonna be
the second worst according to Scrimbucks. According to the wild Scrimbucks going around. I don't know how much to read into that.
Wait, what?
Apparently, according to the Scrim rumors, they are the second worst team in APAC rather than the worst.
It was Yiska, right?
Yiska was saying that they're apparently that. Now, the thing is though, how much can you read into that? They haven't been together for very long, so who the hell knows? But
who would be the worst?
I don't know.
New York?
No, I mean we saw New York. What? We saw New York play Guangzhou, and that was like a good game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it couldn't be New York because
so you said New York, then you would also assume that like what? Then they would be as good as Guangzhou. I mean,
it's got to be it's got to be Chengdu or Hangzhou hard underperforming right now. I think.
But Chengdu just won the experimental, right?
That'd be preposterous. Preposterous.
Yeah, well,
could it be
ridiculous?
Who is
Pandemonium?
I forgot who I was talking to, but like somebody's like, oh, what if it's like Seoul because they're just so up and down? Like maybe they're just in a little bit of a downturn right now. I mean,
Philly?
You never know, right?
I mean,
Philly. I mean,
I'm just saying names. I'm just saying names and
now we've
hoping
said
Matt for a reaction.
We've just said every
team. Yeah, I mean, we just
APAC.
said every team pretty much.
Shanghai!
Outside of Shanghai. I mean, yeah, there's not a chance.
If you're telling me Shanghai are worse than the Valiant right now, my world has been flipped upside down, and I don't know what to do, and I'll just go into any game. Every single game, I will act like an NFL analyst, where I just say, any given Sunday, it's any given Sunday. Anyone can win, it's any given Sunday, and I'll just keep repeating that, and then whoever wins at the end, I'll just go, yeah, they were probably the favorites coming in.
It's worked well for Matt and his
All I'll do.
Yeah, looking back on it, they're probably the favorites, yeah.
Okay, next on the itinerary is something really cool. I actually think this is one of the best skins that I've seen in the game. Fleta's MVP skin. I think this is so sick because can we bring it up, Kurt, and I'll give you my thesis on why this is one of my favorite skins in the game. Is because it's so thematic. It has a clear theme of what it is. It's not just here's a Doomfist from the Shock. It's not just here's a Winston from London
so cool.
or whatever. Well, I guess the octopus skin for Jonak was cool, but it wasn't about his personality at all. It was just about what he found cool. He was just like, octopuses are cool. Let's make an octopus. Whereas this, I don't know Fleta well enough to know whether he has some internal struggle between the dark and the light that tears him asunder at every moment. But from now on, I'm going to believe it.
Well,
I'm going to believe that he is an anime antagonist that has a dark side and a light side, and he's constantly striving towards the best of himself, but he's torn away by the dark side of his nature. I don't know. I'm making it all up.
He
but it's a
mentioned it in the
fucking cool
video,
skin.
though. He mentioned it in a video that like the concept kind of came out of the fact that he's like very like calm and like shy out of game, but then once he gets into game, he's like a killer, you know?
See, that
And,
to
like,
me is sick. I love that
it's
idea.
such like a there's like a more of like a story behind this skin other than the
Yeah.
fact of like I like octopuses. Octopuses are cool. I want to be an octopus. Like
Which,
this is like
I mean,
a
the Jonak skin
which is
good,
also cool.
but-
Which is also cool. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
also like that skin. But I think this one just especially as well
Wow.
because I think this is actually just one of the best. This may be just the best Echo skin. Period. Whether you like Overwatch Esports or Overwatch League or whatnot. Like if you're just a player of Overwatch, this is like the coolest Echo skin. I think.
Looks pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love the details as well. Like the concept is great, but then just like the detailing, the feathers look phenomenal.
Yeah.
The angelic things are kind of inspired by Diablo as well, which I love that game.
Right,
But you can see how like it's inspired by Diablo, and then it has like a proper theme from Fleta. Like it just everything about it is just brilliant.
Plays so
Flawless.
perfect with like the two wings as well on the back. Like I believe they said they had like the sun and like what is it, like a sun and a moon like on the head, I think of him. Like and then they also had this piece, right, which went into like more of the design of the Roadhog skin, which
The
also
Roadhog
has
skin
just
is also-
incredible amount of detail too. Like
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that this is one of my favorite skins. The Roadhog skin that just got made as well. We talked about it a bit on the show. I love that skin. It's somewhat similar to that one, but it's not exactly this one, right?
so they actually went like so this is like the concepts of it, but
Right.
it's actually funny because I was always
Oh,
wondering,
God,
well,
it's so
why the
good.
hell is the head on fire, you know?
Right.
And they actually talked about the design is they took the fire from like the on fire in the bottom left, like that the shocker actually on fire, like in terms of how they play, like
Oh.
winning all of the time and always playing good, and use that onto the character, which I was like,
Right.
that is so like that's why I love when they do these videos like this, because there's so much more detail that goes to
Yeah.
it. Like, you know, from our point of view, it's like, oh cool, they just put fucking fire on Roadhog's head. That's sick. Like, but there's like actually like something behind it. They didn't just like, yeah, this is it. Like they didn't just arbitrarily
Wow.
go in and just be like, oh yeah, let's give them some fire. Like, I mean, that's like it's super cool the way they've kind of concepted on all of these.
It's incredibly cool. I think it's like
They-
I don't know. The skin itself is fantastic, but the way they weave all of the storylines into the skin as well, I think is a wonderful tie-in to like the narratives of the league, because you can make them metaphorically represented by a small piece of it, and the whole piece together tells so many different stories.
Even not with just these two skins, like the skins that like the Overwatch like team pumps out and they do, like they're always so good. Like there's so much detail included
And
in
they're
all of them,
improving, it feels like.
and they're getting better. Yeah, it feels like they're getting better. I feel like
Which is
the last
crazy.
like I feel like the newest like batches of skins and whatnot and everything that's come out more recently is like way more advanced and detailed than some of the stuff that like I think we all really kind of loved in the past. So that's cool to see them getting even better with it.
The only disappointing part of that for me was that they also said that there's no further MVP skins within the Overwatch League, and I think that's like an extreme loss for the league. I mean, maybe like the wider world of Overwatch doesn't care about it too much, but within our small ecosystem, that is like, in my opinion, the MVP skin was the pinnacle of what Owl was actually doing for player storytelling. I think it's something that the league has always been a bit hit or miss on, is really good narrative building and storytelling within the league. And I hope that we push more towards that as we go forwards. But like, I was actually thinking back, we were reminiscing about this recently when we were doing the Valorant podcast, because they've started doing a lot of video content on their players. And do you guys remember like the old Noukky video that they made, like way back in 2018, when they did a full feature piece on Noukky, like his rise within the scene?
Yeah, I remember that, because I think those were all shot like before the first season even began, if I
think so.
remember.
Do you mean the one with like IDQD and Mickey and stuff as well?
No. He's
No.
those were the ones.
before? Oh,
That was the one with like IDQD and the on fire sword and
flaming
stuff. No.
axe and stuff.
Those were insane. Those were actually just bananas. And like Seagull doing drifting with his car. That was all bonkers. But the Noukky one was like a proper story
interview.
of Noukky.
Yeah. And I think there was another one that was really good with Remix and Bijou, right? they kind of did the same type of thing with like the story
Right.
of Remix and Bijou as like a duo. Those are all pre-season 1 stuff. I remember they had a bunch of like players and different stories and whatnot, and
Yeah.
they were able to get a bunch of good ones.
Yeah, but for various different reasons, that kind of stuff has not been included in recent seasons. You know, those are extremely expensive to make. I'm sure that factors in. It's COVID. That's just good night to all of that stuff.
Everybody just spread out so far. Yeah.
The teams also have more responsibility to do that if you're not in a centralized location. So for a variety of different reasons, that aspect of the storytelling has really been missing from the Overwatch League. And I love the MVP skins for that reason, because they had an opportunity to, like what they did with this Fleta skin, take the personality of a player and exhibit it through art, essentially. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And put it within the game for everybody else to witness. And I thought it was just a super cool tie-in that the skins always look dope and random players want them as well. And then they can learn more about, like, the kind of, it's the slippery slope into being interested in the esports scene as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine it's a ton of work, right? Because if you're a designer, you have to figure out, like, what does this player want? And then you actually have to, like, work on that iteration creatively. Versus just like, hey, I as a designer want to make the skin because I have a vision and this is what I want to do. That's probably easier. So it's a ton of work, but I completely agree with you, Josh. Like, for many reasons, just like as an entryway into esports overall, you know, this is something, as you said, like for casuals to see, like, hey, this is an awesome Echo skin. Like, where does it come from? What's the story? And then it's a gateway to the Overwatch League, so I love that as well. But then also just like having things in the game to commemorate the history of Overwatch esports is just like something that I think is necessary. And it doesn't have to be a full-fledged skin that is like inspired by a player or whatever, you know, even in like Counter-Strike where they do the sprays on the maps or whatever.
Yeah, those are great.
Or whatever. Like just like a spray or something for the player. Something should be in the game, I think, because I think it's really important when you think back to previous editions and you make this like long history for Overwatch as a game. Because like I can go back and look at the Winston skin that London got when they won the league. Obviously, we still got the Roto skin this year, you know, and I don't know if they're going to keep that up. But like, just looking back at those old skins, it's just, I don't know. It's just awesome to think back to that time. Like, it's not physical, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an actual representation in the game. That's not just a piece of text on like a website about what used to be. It's an actual representation of it in the game. And I think that that needs to still exist moving forward. If they can't pull off a skin because for whatever reason, fair enough. But please give us something at least to give credit to these players working their ass off, and you know,
Yeah, I always thought that it was a missed opportunity that they didn't use Blizzard World to do this, because that's literally, I mean, it's a map in the game Overwatch that's about Blizzard and about like their different games and esports, and they have like a little segment, like a room that you go in and you can listen to, who is it Mike Morheim talking in one of the rooms, or is it somebody else? Do you remember the room that you walk in and you hear someone narrating over the top? I feel like an idiot now because I can't remember who it is, but it's somebody.
Is that a thing? No, isn't that Uther who like talks about the lines to like
I think it's Uther. Yeah, I don't think that's I believe.
Who the fuck is Uther?
Uther's he's a paladin. He's not like Morheim. He's a paladin.
You're barking up the wrong tree entirely. If you go into one of the rooms, you can hear somebody at Blizzard talking about the history of Blizzard. I swear. There's one of the. It's like the mega room. It's the mega room on Point B. You know the room that you go to, and it's like the indoor area,
like around the StarCraft area.
I don't know StarCraft. I don't know which area is the StarCraft area.
Right here, the Nexus.
Yes, it's like inside the Nexus experience. There, it's inside there. The mega room at the back. If you go to the back wall, I'm sure I didn't hallucinate this. I am looking up
an Easter egg thing for Blizzard World. And the only thing mentioned so far about somebody narrating anything is Uther. Uther, he has other announcements throughout the thing. Yeah, I think it might be Uther, yeah.
Maybe I'm going insane. Maybe I just don't know enough about other Blizzard games, and I thought it was about the development company themselves instead of being about a paladin. But You've got me questioning my entire existence right now.
So what do you think he says, like, or talks about, like? Cause
you want me to give a fucking quote? You want me to write it in an article and like reference it? You want Harvard citations? What do you want of me?
Because Uther has some welcoming messages to Blizzard World.
One of you, open the game and go there. Someone watching, open the game and go there.
I'll go
I
do it.
swear I'm not going crazy. Anyway, that wasn't even my point. My point was you have this map that's dedicated to Blizzard and their games and like how cool their games are. That's essentially the whole like core of the map. And since it's in Overwatch, it seems like it would make sense to me to have a section of the map where it's just dedicated to Overwatch. Wait a second. Hello.
What is this?
There's been a
development?
In the center is a portrait of Mike Morhaime. If you stay in this area long enough, you hear some of Mike Morhaime's messages to the community from previous BlizzCon opening ceremonies.
No, hold on, I'm making a game. Hold on, let me see.
Yep. So there you go. That's in the mega room at the back. I think it's in there anyway, at the Nexus experience or whatever it's called. But I think there should be a little showcase somewhere about the Overwatch League in there too, because it wouldn't make sense if it was just generally about like Blizzard. Like Overwatch League is such a small part of Blizzard as a company. But when it's in Overwatch, the game, like the map is in Overwatch, it makes sense to me to have an area that's like Overwatch focused and Overwatch League.
Oh my god, yeah, wait, hold on. Mike Morhaime is in here. What the hell?
I told you. And he talks to you, Matthew.
Oh wait, they have all like they have like oh, that's cool. I never realized that. They have like the BlizzCon things on the wall.
This guy roasts
and it shows you
for being inobservant.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, and they got like a Diablo poster and stuff on the side?
Yeah.
I think
this would be a really cool area, or like some part of the map, to just show off Owl a bit as well. And yeah, I think you could do some cool stuff that you don't have to like tie up the skin team or have any, you can choose the level of involvement you want in the league as well. It doesn't have to be tied to any individual player or, however you want to go about it. It would just be, I think it'd just be pretty cool.
Initially, when Blizzard World came out, I for months, I didn't know there was going to be a multiplayer map. I thought it'd be like a casual playing ground where you could like just walk around and like meet other players and like maybe like watch esports or something.
Like a Destiny like hub type of town thing.
I thought it was like a BattleNet kind of map where you could just like hang out and go watch like Hearthstone esports in a bar, and then you could go over to the Diablo zone and be like a Diablo streamer and like a schedule on the screen or something. And then
you never want to get back to seeing people. I mean, this is like some Ready Player One.
I thought it'd be like Minecraft, but in Overwatch we can just like go hang out and just log
is that
in
what you
and
think
log
people
out.
do in Minecraft? They just hang out and go watch Hearthstone.
Yeah, I think they go watch esports. That's what I think they do in Minecraft.
Why do you play Minecraft? Me and my buddies get together. We watch Hearthstone.
I thought it'd be like a virtual meeting place where you could just like join different games and just meet people and talk about Blizzard games and watch esports.
Okay, you might be desperate to go outside as well.
Yes, I mean, drinking these alone would be quite depressing. So I am requiring social engagement.
The vaccine is on the horizon, or a vaccine.
I haven't seen Sideshow for like 14 months, IRL.
When was the last time I saw you?
I mean, I've tried to dodge you as much as possible, so very, very.
Yeah, I mean,
long time
even when
ago.
you're here, we usually try and avoid each other. But like, even before that, I don't know when was the last time we were mandatorily like supposed to see each other.
I assume
maybe in that last episode of Plat Chat.
I assume it would have been like February, probably, of 2020. Like over a year since we've seen each other.
Yeah, because we didn't do any homestands with you and Bren, me and Mitch. So it was.
Yeah, so it would have been like the last Plat Chat before we decided to do it online. So probably March, actually. Probably early March.
That's crazy.
Something like that. It's definitely been over a year since we did anything in person.
Yeah, no wonder why I'm so happy, yeah.
Noukky has highlighted some European contenders and done a write-up going into the 2021 opening of contenders.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you wanted to highlight this as well. I didn't see the write-up, so I'm not going to comment on it particularly, but I do think it's really cool to like draw some attention to contenders heading into this year. So can you walk me through it?
Sure. I mean, it's a pretty brief highlighting of the different teams in European Contenders. I mean, there's no like real. It's more of an introduction to new people who want to start watching European Contenders and are wondering like, hey, what's going on in the scene? What are the teams about? Noukky lists out the different teams and like what their brands are and who's behind it and who runs the teams, etc., and like sort of what the vibe is with the different teams. So I thought this was a nice introduction. If you're interested in European Contenders, you can go read this write-up so you get a more of an overview for the different teams, and maybe you can pick up a favorite team, root for, etc.
I'm very interested in that second paragraph actually. If you scroll up, it says she started out by saying, hey, wanted to do a write-up. Being in Contenders since the start, I've seen some of the most ups and downs. As time passed by, I've seen players as well as staff get really bitter about the state of the game and the scene. And then follows up by saying, not this year, though. Now, I'm unaware of what the Tier 2 scene looks like from year to year. Like, the off-season of Tier 2, I only really pay attention to in terms of, like, people coming into the Overwatch League. But this next sentence, I'm surprised and positively optimistic about, because it says, this year is a new year. Everyone is staffing up big time, getting social media managers, graphic designers, and so much more. The teams are keeping at it, grinding through, and working on making their brands and content even bigger, which that's really interesting to me. Yeah. I assume with the like end of the tunnel of Overwatch 2 that some of this stuff would happen. But if I'm honest, I didn't expect it to be happening this year. Like, I didn't think that... I'm assuming that's like what it's based on anyway. Like, I'm assuming that the optimism is based on Overwatch 2 being on the horizon.
I mean, that's also probably some of the optimism is like what we probably saw the most EU players make it into Overwatch League this year than any other year.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe now they realize like they're a region that'll have a lot of representation like in the league, like moving forward, potentially.
Yeah.
Where you look at like a game like Call of Duty, which is mostly like NA, UK, like what are your real options, I guess, in terms of shooters? Like you play Valorant, but they don't have like a franchise league like yet or whatnot, or CSGO, but CSGO seems to be all over the place. So like maybe it is just hey, we know that there's I mean, right, like we know Overwatch 2 exists now, right? Like so it's like maybe this is more of a long-term type of play. And I also think it kind of speaks to like, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I've been playing a ton of Overwatch. Like the game's in a good spot. Like everything feel like there's nothing that feels like really terrible about the game right now. So maybe it's just players being really happy with the state of the game, teams being happy about where the game is going in terms of Overwatch 2 being a thing. Maybe teams just ramping up.
I think Overwatch has done a surprisingly, I don't know if it's surprisingly actually, but just like done a great job at community building as well. Whether it's sponsored by Blizzard or whatever, you have all of these like small cliques of friends that like found friendship through Overwatch, play Overwatch together, and then you join like a Discord and there's a bunch of Overwatch people in there and you just start making friends. Like there's so many small Overwatch communities within the larger player base that it's really impressive to just see people offering their talents. Like I mean, I don't know how many people get paid to actually work with these teams and are offered for like, the graphics they make or whatever. I think there are a lot of people with incredible talent who just really enjoy the game and are offering their talents to have a chance to be part of a community, be part of a team, etc. But I will say, you should get paid for the work you're doing, for the artwork you're doing, etc. You should get paid. But it's really awesome to see even such smaller teams have beautiful branding and get creative with it and just have a good community going.
There's also like I mean, this kind of like deals into like a little bit what you were just saying, Johnny, with like community and whatnot. And I didn't know how much I would miss it, but like I really missed Overwatch World Cup this year. Like I think just that event where you see all of the teams, like they get together from all different parts of the world. You see all these different communities that exist within the Overwatch ecosystem, like get representation at like the big stage, right? Like it's like I never really, I guess, kind of like I understood it, right? But I guess I didn't really kind of understand how much like I would like miss seeing all of that, right? And see all like because we didn't really get to see a lot of these like more minor communities, right? Like often because we're so busy like doing the league, like even covering like some of tier 2. Occasionally you're trying to like peek into it, but more of these communities kind of getting more resources and staff and whatnot is just awesome to see.
Dude, when we had that BlizzCon, the latest BlizzCon, when teams had to travel to BlizzCon to qualify, I mean, I know that wasn't optimal for some countries because you had to find like your own sponsoring and stuff, right? If you were an outsider, you had to like sponsor your own flights, etc. I know that wasn't optimal for most countries. So it's not a vouch mentioning this, but I will say it was nuts to see so many cool players like come over to BlizzCon, attend it. They were stoked. They're just like, I'm so happy to be here. This is a dream come true. You'd run into all of these different Overwatch players you've never met before, and you'd be like, hey, you know, what's up? How's it going? And you just talk about Overwatch. And not even players, just like managers, coaches from all over the world would just come to BlizzCon and meet up. And it's like, you don't really have a lot of those opportunities. Well,
that's like the dream. So. That's like the dream is like an esports player, right? To like, have one of these big events and like qualify for it and get streamed, like make your name for yourself, right? Like kind of push yourself forward in the whole ecosystem, like to where right now, I mean, obviously with the state of everything, like Contenders is that, but it's cool to see like more people diving deep into Contenders. And also, if you don't follow Noukky on Twitter and all of that, you're just dumb. She has so much great insight on everything. You should just go and do that. Like the fact that she took the time to write all this up to kind of give everybody more insight into EU Contenders is awesome.
Yeah, they started today, Monday actually. They started. So if you're watching this, they started yesterday.
You're watching this, you missed it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if you missed it. I mean,
watch the future.
You haven't missed all of it though, Matt. The way you say that is like Contenders is a one-day event.
No, you missed the first day though. So what are you doing? Go back and watch that day. Watch the day that's happening now, today.
As this is premiering, there is European Contenders going on. So after the episode is over,
so finish this episode. Finish the episode. Then go watch.
Matt's been trying to drive our viewers away to other podcasts, other shows, all sorts of different things over the course of
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah. The other day he was saying that we should go watch a Rocket League podcast, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
You got Plat Chat, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
I know. He's been wanting to break into all sorts of different things. I
don't like soccer and I don't like cars, so I mean that just doesn't work.
He likes anything that you can stay indoors and do. He likes Scale X Trick. Did you guys ever play that Scale X Trick?
What?
Is that just something?
What the hell is Scale X Trick?
Just gonna leave that one.
What the hell is that?
Anyone gets that reference? You can post a comment. Otherwise, I'm just gonna assume it was some weird shit that I did in the UK. It was like racing cars around a track inside your own house.
This is some UK. This is some UK thing only.
Yeah, I mean, don't have a clue. Anyway, did we want to talk about the next rumor? I can't remember whether we decided to talk about it or not.
This is like Matchbox cars.
What?
Matchbox cars?
Scale.
Sure.
Oh, sure. Here it is. Yeah, this is Scale X
Trick. The size of a matchbox. So yeah, I guess.
This is Formula 1.
Yeah, but you like race them against other people. Except I don't really know how you're supposed to race them because I think they are. Oh no, it was. There was two separate tracks, so you race them against each other.
How do you determine who goes fast? Like, how do you control them?
You control them with like it's just a single button that's an accelerator, and so if you press it but you keep it held down while it's going around corners, it'll fly off the cart. It'll fly off the track.
Oh, okay.
They're only loosely attached.
I was like, what's the skill in this shit? I was like, you and your homies just count to 3, and then everybody just stands there and holds the button. Whoever hit it first originally wins. I was like, that's kind of whack.
No, you're supposed to.
It's more like playing like a Mario Party game.
Yeah.
That's sort of like how the controls work.
God, it looks like you need so much space for this. How big was your Scale X track?
I took up my entire room, and I had to build it and debuild it every time. And it was like, I don't know, it was probably about as big as this table though, which doesn't explain anything because you can't tell how big this table is, but it's it was.
You can sort of decide yourself because you get like these pieces, and you have the piece like, oh, I'm gonna have 4 stretches, and then I'm gonna have a curve, and then I'm gonna ramp, and like you can.
Can you like change them all the time? Yourself. Or were they like?
If you want to, it's tedious, but you can.
I'm not a fucking marketing manager for Scale X Trick. I don't know. My parents
built it
for me. My parents built it for me when I was 5 or 6. I brought it up as a little light-hearted reference to something that I assumed we had a common interest in.
Well, me and Kurt are trying to learn. We don't know about this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I misunderstood. I don't know what you did in New York. You just watched the trains go by.
Kurt, did you know about Scale X Trick?
No.
Yeah, see?
All right. Did we want to talk about the next topic? I can't remember what we decided. Jonathan brought it to the table.
I don't know.
I don't even know what the hell the topic was.
All right, well, let's do it anyway. Jonathan, you've brought me this delicious little tidbit, and I know nothing about it because I didn't watch the podcast where it was discussed, and so I'm just going to announce the topic.
This is Johnny hopes this is a thing so he can go pro again. He'll bust out his iPad from bed. He'll be the best Reinhardt in mobile Sweden or whatever.
Walk me through it. It says, rumor, Overwatch 2 on mobile. I don't know anything about mobile. I don't know much about Overwatch 2. What the hell are you talking about, Mr. Jonathan?
Well, I saw a headline on Reddit that apparently people were going crazy because apparently there was a rumor going on that Overwatch 2 or Overwatch was going to be dropped on mobile at the same time as Overwatch 2. And it seems like the rumor stemmed from Richard Lewis, who brought it up on the Four Horsemen podcast, which you were on.
No, I wasn't on that episode.
Not that episode. Not that episode. That was a different episode. But
Josh doesn't even know the rumors he's been featured in.
I'm telling you the name of the podcast in case your old skull forgot, like that you were on that show. Anyway,
I mean, what a sign of the times as well.
Richard Lewis brought it up, and I think he said that he had on good accounts that they wanted to drop Overwatch Mobile at the same time as Overwatch 2. Now, we generally don't talk about rumors on this show, but I thought this was a pretty big deal, so I decided, would you guys like to see Overwatch on mobile?
Am I going crazy, or did this Nary person post some bullshit a while back that like? Well,
this source actually goes to like an article where it talks about the Four Horsemen being the source.
Okay, right.
Throughout. I think if you scroll down,
I may
it's
have just slandered a random Twitter user as well. I apologize if that is the case. I just thought there had been something recently that wasn't accurate from that source. But I mean, okay, this mobile. Let's go on a little. I don't know what I'm talking about. Jonathan, tell me what the community is thinking about this. What's the pulse on the ground?
Are you asking me if I read the Reddit comments?
I want to know. I want to know the general vibe. Would people be excited for this if it was released on mobile?
Me, representing the community, I think that it could be kind of neat, and I honestly wouldn't be too surprised. Obviously, I have no insider info. I think that Blizzard were kind of memed on after the Diablo Immortal shenanigans.
Sure.
Like on stage, do you guys not have phones? But also, seeing the massive success that like Call of Duty Mobile had, and like how many people play that, how popular it is, I wouldn't be surprised if someone at Blizzard were like, hey, let's take all our games and port them over to the phones, and then we can make money from people playing on their phones at like bus stops and stuff. That sounds genius. That makes that, I don't know. That's where I'd play video games, like on like the school break, between classes, you like sit down, play Overwatch for like 10 minutes. I don't know. I think
I can tell you that
it's an interesting rumor.
My little brother, my little brother is God. I change his age every time I talk about my brother. By the way, I can't remember how old he is. I think he's
what a good brother.
Fuck it.
How old is he?
Let's say he's 14. Just throwing an age out there. Let's say he's 14. He's plus or minus 5 years from that. But he's
what is that?
Okay, he's somewhere around that age though, and he was part of the first like age bracket that got mega into Fortnite. Like we're just playing it all the time. That was all they played. They're consuming that content. He's on YouTube all the time, like watching Minecraft and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like the true Zoomer of Zoomers that aren't even, they're not even approaching adulthood. They're just hooked into really young games. And he now plays Overwatch on the Switch with all of his friends. They've just started recently. They've moved from Fortnite to Minecraft, and now recently all of his friends have started playing Overwatch on the Switch, which I thought was really, really odd, but also intriguing that they've moved to a game that isn't new in any way. It hasn't even been recently released on the Switch, but it's just that those other games were like, they'd run out of the novelty value, and so all of his friend group had swapped over to playing Overwatch on the Switch. And that's the kind of demographic that I think you're trying to tap into if you're talking about like Switch or mobile games or anything like that. COD Mobile was massive as well, right? It was like the biggest mobile release ever or something.
I'll say mobile games are getting so when you started to mention this, I was like, I remember the League of Legends mobile game launched today in NA.
Oh, really?
Today?
Yeah, today. Like the open beta or whatnot. And I was like, I wonder what it's like. So I actually downloaded it earlier and I opened it up. And like from what I remember, like I guess when I first started playing like or trying to play like mobile games of like games I actually liked on like PC or console, they were like never really that good, like or they weren't really like kind of close. I feel like now mobile games have gotten so much better. Like I know Mitch did Brawl Stars. I really liked Brawl Stars when I was playing that. Like
oh, I didn't take a look at that.
Hearthstone on mobile, TFT on mobile. Like I think it's just like
on my mobile phone.
Well, I think it's also like we just meme on like mobile games, right? But like if this were to come out, like I'm sure a ton of people would just be like all about it. It doesn't really do anything for like I mean I want to play on PC. I'm sure, you know, Josh's little brother, that who knows how old he is, but I'm sure he'll eventually want to play on a PC or something. Maybe. But maybe this gets other people into it. Who knows?
Exactly. I think actually that's massively important what you just said there. Maybe you get new players into it because my biggest issue, one big issue in general with some of these video games, especially like the ones that take like a really expensive PC, you need to have like a pretty recent graphic card, like a good processor to like play some of these games. It's like the cost to entry is so high that it's naturally going to limit the player base and how many people can play this game. Now, Overwatch, it's pretty smooth, you know? You can get away playing Overwatch on a pretty bad PC. But like if you were to compare it to any other sport, it's like if you want to play ice hockey, you have to play so much, buy so much damn equipment just so you can go out on the rink and skate and you need a good stick or like whatever. But if you want to play soccer, football, you just buy a ball and then just like put your shoes to be like the goalpost and then you're in, right? So
wait, why would you put your sorry, why would you use your shoes as the goalpost? You're gonna need your shoes to kick the ball. Why don't you use your sweater or
like water bottles or something? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other things.
Why is your go-to your shoes? Because then you're playing barefooted football.
Do you realize how many people in this world do not own shoes?
If you don't own shoes, you can't use them as goalposts. Don't bring that into it.
I mean, yeah, that doesn't make much sense, Johnny. You didn't have shoes to begin. You didn't have shoes to begin with. I mean, you couldn't use them as goalposts. I mean, that's just bad. That was bad.
That's a slam dunk case.
Yeah, your argument took a turn for the worse there.
The defense rests.
I also
on that.
I mean, this is also a rumor, right? What I love though, when I ever see these rumors about like my game is going to mobile, it's like everybody freaks out like, no, why are they gonna make it on mobile? It's like you aren't forced to play it on mobile. Play where you want to play. Who cares if it's on mobile? It's like a League of Legends people freaking out. Oh my god, League of Legends is going to mobile. This is terrible. It's
people
like
do it with Valorant as well.
It's like, yeah, it's not like the PC version disappears and all you have to do is just now play on your phone. Like if there's people that want to play on these other platforms, like why not support them? Like
but that was the thing with Diablo, wasn't it? That they only were releasing a mobile game. Isn't that why people freaked out? Is that they thought it was going to be PC? That's a really different situation. Like no one's saying that Overwatch 2 will only be on mobile. If that I mean, that would just be mind-blowing. If that ever gets announced and I'm scrolling through Twitter one day and I see that, I'm just my soul's gonna evaporate through my ears.
To get like a feeling of playing it on like a console, you'd have to get like a 40-inch like tablet and just like stand like you're like in the fucking like you're in the Matrix, just moving things around like this, just how to play.
Yeah. The thing is, I think there's some games that translate really well to mobile. I think COD did a fantastic job of it. But I'm going to say the same stuff that I say whenever like Valorant Mobile gets brought up. I don't think the game would be that good on mobile. Like, I don't think Overwatch translates well to mobile.
So the way
adjust it, surely. I mean, it's not going to be a straight port. I will actually say that Diablo, when it went to console, because there was a big ordeal just like 5 years ago. Wait, what the fuck?
What the hell is
instant demonetization? What is that about?
What is this?
What is this?
This is Overwatch.
What? Oh my god!
What? Did somebody just steal Overwatch? What is this?
Is this mobile?
What? That does not look like a console.
Look,
What
it
is
says
that?
Blizzard. Oh.
Oh, they
They
sued
didn't say
them.
I'm suing
They
on
sued
the
them,
Chinese phone.
Kurt.
This is not them.
Oh no.
That is a blatant ripoff.
No,
That's-
this is the one they're making.
I mean, I'm not gonna
No,
lie
it's
though.
not. That is not. That is somebody who is pretending to be Reinhardt. This is like that is new body. I mean, that is ridiculous.
That's amazing, actually. Though
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. that
Heroes
looks.
of Warfare.
Heroes of Warfare.
I was talking about it not being a very good port to mobile, and then I looked at the beginning of that. I'm not gonna lie. That looked very playable. So maybe I'm just.
that is Kale from League of Legends mixed with Farah. That is.
Wait,
they
that's
have
Hanzo
taken
and
McCree.
They have taken Hanzo and given him McCree's weapons.
Who's
I mean,
secret police? Oh, that's the skin. Is
Who
that
is this?
Genji? Yeah, that's
Maybe?
Genji.
Mm.
They've given Genji tits.
Wait, why are you zooming in on this?
I mean,
That's
I
not
think that's
Kurt.
just a video.
That's just
That
a
is
video.
Reinhardt. They have replaced his hammer with a sword.
That's
Garrett.
What is his moves? Fan the hammer! Come on! I mean, come on! That is Deadeye.
You're telling
Wait,
me you
they have
wouldn't
miraculous
play
youngsters
this?
in there? MY? Oh my lord.
I.
They even have the
They
OG
even have the same
Overwatch kill feed.
photos.
They have the kill feed, the Overwatch OG kill feed.
Seriously though, this. I mean, I don't understand how it would scale to your phone.
Wait, go back, Kurt. What are those names in the scoreboard? I need to see this again. Elisne Jones, Tuvor Hausman,
no, those are
Aerodon
short.
Swift.
I mean, they're
Wait.
probably just playing. I don't know. I mean,
Aren't
what do
they
you
just
know?
the names of the
Yeah,
heroes
they're probably
as
the
well?
people. Yeah, they're probably
Like,
just
there's
naming the hero.
There's a hero called Jones and a hero called Houseman or something.
Hausman.
This is what is this?
This is
Wait,
Helios.
what?
No, but
Oh,
what is this
it's
hero?
the
This is
Genji
like a-
character. She throws cards instead of shurikens.
Oh,
That's
was
actually
gonna
quite
say,
a
this
cool
like-
design. I'm not gonna
Well,
lie.
that's
They
like-
should
I
steal
mean,
that
that
for a
is-
skin.
I mean, that is literally Twisted Fate from League of Legends, who throws cards. But
Oh,
okay.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
don't steal it for a skin. You'll get a lawsuit coming your way, but whatever. What is this? Is I mean, this is amazing.
Is this no hero limit? It looks like they had a bunch of the same person.
That is
They
fantastic.
even do play of the game. I mean, come on.
Well, they did get sued.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
if that's like a, I mean, I guess if that's like a beta of what it would look like, it looks cool. I don't know. I mean, sure.
I don't know. I'd enjoy Overwatch 2 on mobile if when it came out. Drunk.
congratulations, you. That's fantastic.
The way they do it in Brawl Stars and the way that they do it in Wild Rift with League of Legends is like all of like the skill shots and the aim, like you just tap a button and it like I think attacks like the closest person or something like that. But then you can hold that button down and like slide it and like push it in the direction you'd want it to go if you want to do like specific moves. So I mean, there's ways, and they're getting way better with mobile now too. So it's like
Yeah,
if this
for sure.
was a thing, like, would I download it and maybe try it a little bit? Yeah. If I'm stuck in an airport, would I try and play it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm
I've
here
got-
at home, would I start it up? No, I'm sitting in front of my PC with tons of coffee and I'm playing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, maybe it'll scratch the itch somewhere else. I've got a question for you though, Jonathan.
Oh.
Oh,
What's the T, sis?
what?
What's the T? We've got fucking T coming up,
oh,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
but what
T.
does it mean? I don't know what that sentence, what that question means.
I don't know what it means either.
It was a segue.
I don't know
But
what
it went
people-
over your head. Yeah.
I'm trying to.
No,
I'm trying to host.
I just didn't know what to say.
I think
Like, it's green tea? What the fuck do you want?
What's the gossip? What's the gossip?
We-
What's the
we
word on the
have
tea
street?
now.
What's the T?
Oh.
Am I
Wait,
am I
what?
speaking
Well,
a
that there's
foreign
tea.
language?
There's tea. That's talent tea. That's the tea. Josh.
That's the T. Yeah. So a company called Adagio Tea has got Angela, or Angela maybe if she's German. I don't know.
Well,
to-
it's based on the Mercy character, no?
Oh,
Angela
I
Ziegler.
thought that was just actually her name. I don't know. I mean,
I think it's
people do
based
have
on
that
the
as a
Mercy
real name, you
character.
know.
I mean, yeah, it is a real name, but I
Yeah.
think that's literally Mercy's name.
Yeah, that's Mercy's name.
Didn't know that was Mercy's name. Thought that was a real name. All right, now I feel like
a
I've been
guy who did
deceived
a
and
whole
conned.
PowerPoint presentation on lore doesn't know Mercy's name.
What is her surname? Kegel.
Ziegler.
Ziegler. Ziegler.
Keegler.
Angela Siegel.
Right, moving swiftly along. This was cool. When this was posted, this tweet was posted, I thought this was just artwork. If you can go back to the tweet, Kurt, I thought this was it. I thought it was just artwork. I was just like, oh, that's cool. A little like concept art of a bunch of different tea flavors, and they've drawn us. That's awesome. And so I just retweeted it, and I was like, that's pretty cool artwork. Don't know why people are popping off so much, but yeah, it's kind of cool. And then I realized that there's actually tea that you can buy.
Yeah, I thought these were like t-shirts, and then I was like, and then I clicked the link, and I was like, oh wait, it's like tea, like actual tea.
Actual tea.
I was like, the art is so cool. The way she drew all of us.
Yeah.
Like, got my hair and the beard down.
It's funny it's named Long Island iced tea, and I get it because you're from Long Island, but I don't think you've ever had a Long Island iced tea in your life.
What?
What do you mean? What? That's not an answer.
I mean, Johnny would say that like he's been with me my entire life. There were like 27 years of my life without Johnny.
Are you 27 years old?
For like 4
I'm
years.
saying there are 27 years before I met Johnny that like I could have had a Long Island iced tea, but because it hasn't happened in the presence of Johnny, it's never happened.
Has it happened?
I don't see you as this very extroverted person who used to drink Long Island iced teas.
I was. I used to go out a lot with my buddies in New York. We had a ton of fun.
Yeah,
and then we all got older.
And
then you guys will get old eventually too, and you guys will be like me, where you just
all his
wear your
friends go to a
slippers and
different
sit inside.
school, Jonathan. You wouldn't know them. All of his friends go to a different
you
school.
would know them.
He used to go out a lot with his other friends at a different school, but we don't know
my
them.
other friends. Yeah.
My
They're
other
pretty
friends
fun.
are cool too, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they're back at your little fishing village.
Since I've been shilling so much on this podcast already with the Washington Justice beer that we got for free and the Manscaped partnership, I got to say, we're not affiliated in any way with the tea. Haven't been paid to promote it. I haven't even been sent any free teas. I've been robbed in that aspect, to be honest.
I wasn't even reached out to. They just like put the tea out, and I was like, oh, there's tea.
Oh, my name and likeness is now attached to a product. Cool.
Anyway, it's all like good fun, but I'm not affiliated with the tea. So if anything ever happens to your credit card, I am not responsible.
Yeah, if the tea's poisoned, if you don't like it, if it doesn't get delivered, whatever, it's not all on Jonathan. I know that normally people message Jonathan for all of their problems, but this is one where you can give it a rest.
Yeah. The other day I had someone message me and they were asking how your Eat the Rich campaign is going because they couldn't hear back from your emails. Like,
wait, what happened?
How come it's the 3 twinks of the apocalypse that have sold out of their tea? It's just
they must have only.
Am I a twink?
This is Johnny must have told them to only stock like 2 or 3 boxes, so he sold out quick to try and bump up this next
classic hype beast
batch.
Sales. Classic.
Is it super cool though? I like it.
It is cool. I don't drink tea.
I wonder what
though.
mine tastes like.
Yeah, I don't drink tea, so I'm kind of split, because if you look at the description for mine, it says, I feel like I've been absolutely had. No, it's not egg flavor. It says at the end, the final sentence says, even if you don't like tea, give this Tisane? What is that word?
Tisane?
How? Tisane. I mean, literally the only pronunciation of the word we didn't try.
Tucson.
Cool.
Tucson.
Tisane.
I mean, I can't hear it.
You know what we should do? We should reach out and see if they will send Josh all of the teas, and then we will have Kurt randomly make all of the tea, and Josh has to try them and guess which talent is tied to which tea.
But, I mean, that would be fun if you had someone who liked tea. Instead, what you're proposing, here's what that proposal sounds like in the company's point of view, right? Why don't we send all of our teas to someone who doesn't like tea and ask him to drink them and on a live show where he's going to say, fuck, that's awful. I just don't like tea. I'm sure the tea is nice.
Do you like tea?
For people who like
tea, Kurt?
No.
Do you like anything, Kurt?
If only Bren was here.
I like a lot of things.
Bren likes
Bren
tea.
would drink the tea.
Yeah.
Oh, so why don't we get Bren back?
Well, what? Do you like tea?
Me?
No.
Yeah, I like tea.
Well, why don't we do it with you then?
Because that's a lot of tea to have in my apartment. I don't need that much tea.
Can I make my own coffee? I would make my own coffee blend. Is that possible? What was this website called?
I think it's called Adagio
Make my own coffee blend.
But y'all, if you want some tea, and you want some Overwatch tea, there you go.
Yeah, there you
Adagio
go.
teas.
I mean, we're not.
Angelo did a cool job doing the art.
Yeah, we're not endorsing it though because we're not affiliated with it, are we, Matt? So we're just saying it's available if you want to go.
But if you
find,
but if you find your way there and you really enjoy it and you love the artwork and you want to support that and you want to buy some tea, there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. Are we all? Have you finished with your coffee blend tangent?
Yeah, I think so. I need to find custom. Okay, I'm browsing websites. There's probably a way I can make my own coffee.
You're trying to become a sustainable man, aren't you? I can tell you, like growing herbs. You're making your own
He's growing
sourdough.
bread, bro. He's growing bread.
Yeah, I'm growing bread.
Incredible.
In a plant
bread,
upstairs.
He's got bread growing.
All right.
It started flourishing.
The final segment is one that we're going to have a lot of trouble with because this is Bren's Player of the Week. Except it's not Bren's Player of the Week because Bren isn't here. So, ooh.
Whoa!
It catches me by
Production
surprise every
value.
time.
Check it out. Woo!
So instead, what I'm going to do is every week I'm going to randomly nominate somebody. It might be Matt, might be Jonathan, might be me. I might randomly nominate myself.
Might be
or
Kurt.
Kurt. I might make Kurt do it some weeks as well. But this week, I'm going to go with Jonathan, reinforce Larsson.
Oh, thank God.
Whoa!
You have to give me...
This,
Whoa, you caught me so by surprise. Whoa. It's crazy. Give me...
Those
Week.
improv classes really paid off, Johnny.
Wait,
from
what?
What?
How do you know, Kurt?
Sorry.
How did you know?
I just know the future. Sorry.
This is impromptu. This is improv.
Sideshow, did you tell him?
No. Jonathan, who's your player of the week?
I don't have any.
Jonathan, who's your player of the week?
Player of the week. Did anyone from Atlanta deserve it? No. Matt doesn't
Jonathan.
deserve it. Boston does not. I'm going to go with Leon. For the reason being
Here we go.
that the new spray in the
it's
game
awesome.
called Venomous is made by a Leon. We don't know much about Leon, but we know that he made this custom spray. It is now in the game. It's a beautiful spray with Junkrat. I do love this spray because it has so much character. But if we actually read the tweet that is behind the picture, Overbuff reached out to the Overwatch developers, and they said, Venomous by Leon was created by a huge Overwatch fan in Australia who suffers from chronic illness. We won't be diving into further details out of respect to the family, but we wish Leon the best. And I thought this was a beautiful move. This was really touching. So, not only is that already an awesome spray, but hearing that Leon is struggling, but was able to get his spray into the game, I think it was a great move by the developers to clear that. And I wish Leon the best.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I might find out what my spray button is if I manage to find it. Do you have to find it in a loot box? Is that how Overwatch works?
What that is?
No,
a
that one I
specific
think you
thing?
can just.
No.
Can you just unlock it?
I'm not quite sure with this one. I'll actually go check it out right
No,
now.
I think you can actually just unlock this one. I don't think it's from a loot box or anything.
Right. That's cool. That is really cool. I mean, I can only
Yeah.
imagine if you were a fan, getting your artwork into the game would be extremely meaningful, I think, to have like a representation of yourself and your work featured within the game that you're a massive fan of. I think that's extremely cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
What a delightful, happy note to end the podcast on, Reinforced.
Yeah.
That's a very cute story to end on. I appreciate that. And yeah, all well wishes to Leon as well. That reminds me of the old Jonathan's positive news article of the week from the forehead. So I used to try and tear those down, but I can't do it here. Can't do it here.
It's a shame that Foreheads got canceled by the network. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It
Are
is.
we recording Forehead soon, Josh?
Yeah, tomorrow, mate. Tomorrow.
Wait, are we?
No.
Oh.
I saw somebody on Reddit was like, I miss when they used to ask like, does anyone want to talk about this on the show? We should always end the show from now on with hey, are we recording Foreheads tomorrow? And then just end the show.
Yeah, I mean, what's a good topic to finish that on? Actually,
What?
What do you want to talk about, Matt? What do you want to talk about? I can't. The problem is we're such in the depths of the off season that if there's anything to talk about, any shred of content to talk about.
Oh, you know what I saw? You know what I saw the other day? Chelsea was showing me on it was a TikTok where they can shave the middle of your head and they put some glue here and
This is not a question.
You get a
Who cares?
whole set of hair. We should do that with you.
I don't want to talk about that.
What if we previewed or told the viewers about next week?
No.
What's next week?
Yeah.
I'll say one thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say one thing.
Can I say this? Have you stopped recording?
No.
Clearly not. Yeah, I mean, we clearly have not stopped recording.
If Washington Justice makes the final of the first Overwatch League stage tournament, I will shotgun a Washington Justice beer on the Plat Chat episode.
They're that big, mate. They're that big. You're just finding reasons to rationalize your own alcoholism.
I've never shotgunned a beer.
I mean, I don't understand the process anyway. But Jonathan, Kurt was trying to direct my hosting in a sensible path, and you just took over the reins, took over the wheel, and just.
Well, I forgot I had to say that
also,
before the episode was over.
And also, I think in the comments,
Also, send me like 12 so I can practice.
Let me
buy 48 cans.
Who you guys would like to see as guests on the show? Because obviously we want to add another person who's potentially just not Jaws every time. So maybe we have somebody else. How many likes, Kurt, on this video, or how many views would we have to do for you to be on the episode of Plat Chat?
Matt, let me finish what I was going to say like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
All right. So here's something.
I think we should just make Kurt a member of the show, but he's never on camera. He's just his voice.
All right. I was going to reveal what we're going to do next week. We got some spice. And you know what?
Oh.
1 word, 2 syllables. What do you think we are busting out as a prop next week? That's what you got to comment. 1 word, 2 syllables.
1 word.
1 word.
2 syllables. Matt can't spell it. Seriously, Matt probably can't spell it, but that applies to any word that has 2 syllables.
1 word. Oh, that's difficult.
It's got 10 letters.
And we've been alluding to this moment for like months. So,
oh, yeah. Next week is the unmissable week of Plat Chat. Unmissable.
All right. I'm going to end this episode because we're kind of doing nothing. And we have 3 more team
I know what
previews
word
to
it
do.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye. See you on Thursday.